Picture an ancient emperor so obsessed with living forever that he drinks a potion of pure, shimmering mercury. He doesn't find eternal life, he finds a painful, agonizing death. Miles away, another mystic is boiling lead, absolutely convinced he can cook up an elixir of life. He fails, of course. Now let's jump forward a couple of thousand years. We're in a sterile billion-dollar lab. A technician isn't boiling lead. She's manipulating strands of DNA, literally reprogramming cells to forget that they're old. This lab is bankrolled by a tech billionaire, a guy who's already reshaped our digital world and now wants to rewrite the very code of life itself. The tools couldn't be more different, but the goal? It's identical, immortality, and this isn't a movie plot. This is the new alchemy, and its followers believe they're about to conquer humanity's final frontier, death itself. Long before they were characters in a Harry Potter book, alchemists were the most ambitious scientists of their day. Their whole world revolved around two legendary goals: creating the Philosopher's Stone and brewing the elixir of life. The Philosopher's Stone was said to turn worthless metals like lead into pure gold. But it was never just about the money. It was about perfection. Alchemists figured if you could perfect matter, you could perfect the human body and live forever. And this wasn't some niche hobby. It was a global obsession. In China, emperors chased immortality so fiercely they drank deadly cocktails of gold and cinnabar. It's believed several Tang Dynasty emperors died from their own immortality potions. In medieval Europe, alchemists were secretive, certain that mercury was the key to turning back the clock on the human body. But it was never just about chemistry. Alchemy was as much a spiritual quest as a physical one. Purifying metals was the stand-in for purifying your own soul. To create the elixir of life meant you had reached a higher state of being, transcending the messy mortal limits of being human. They never found their elixir, but all their tinkering, all that work with distillation and chemical reactions accidentally laid the groundwork for modern chemistry. Their real legacy, though, wasn't the science they stumbled upon, but the sheer, insane audacity of their dream to transform, to perfect, to live forever. It's a dream that's been reborn, and its new home is Silicon Valley. Today, the dusty, candlelit workshops have been replaced by sleek, data-driven biotech firms. And the new patrons aren't kings or queens. They're the titans of technology. Just look at Jeff Bezos. The founder of Amazon is pouring hundreds of millions into a company called Alchemy Labs. Their mission isn't just to cure diseases, but to achieve what they call cellular rejuvenation programming. They're working on tech to make old cells young again, reverting them to a stem cell-like state. It's a process one of their own scientists has called a potential elixir of life. While human trials have not yet begun, there is optimism that clinical testing in the cellular rejuvenation space could start in 2025, and Bezos isn't alone. Google's co-founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin started Calico Labs, a company with a war chest of over $1 billion dedicated to figuring out why we age and how to stop it. Since 2014, Calico has been in a deep partnership with the pharmaceutical giant AbbVie, committing billions to develop therapies for age-related diseases like cancer and neurodegeneration. Then you have Peter Thiel, the co-founder of PayPal. He's funneled millions into places like the Sense Research Foundation, which focuses on repairing the cellular damage of aging. He also invested in Unity Biotechnology, a company that was developing therapies to wipe out senescent cells, the old broken down cells that contribute to aging. Though after a series of failed clinical trials, Unity laid off its entire staff in May 2025. Even OpenAI's CEO Sam Altman invested an initial $180 million into Retro Biosciences, a company aiming to add a healthy decade to human life, and in early 2025 was reportedly part of a new $1 billion funding round for the startup. These ventures are poaching Nobel laureates and top scientists with sports star salaries, sparking a global race to crack the longevity code. The longevity market is projected to be worth nearly $30 billion in 2025 alone. It's a field grounded in data from gene therapy to telomere extension, but it's fueled by the exact same desire that drove those ancient emperors and mystics. When you put the ancient and modern quests next to each other, the similarities are just staggering. It goes way beyond a shared goal. We're talking about a shared philosophy, a shared method, and a shared set of dangers. Think about the secrecy. Alchemists hid in the shadows, writing their discoveries in cryptic codes. Today's longevity labs are wrapped in corporate NDAs and notorious for their lack of transparency. Companies like Calico and Altos Labs keep their breakthroughs under lock and key, just like an alchemist's most precious formula. And what about their methods? Both are hunting for a magic substance. The alchemists wanted a single, all-powerful agent, the philosopher's stone, or a perfect elixir. The modern quest is the same, just with a biological twist. They're looking for senolytics to clear out old cells or Yamanaka factors to reprogram them. The names have changed from mercury to messenger RNA, but the thinking is identical. Find the silver bullet that can reverse aging. The ambition isn't just about living longer, it's about living better. Alchemists sought perfection, a pure soul in a perfect body. Tech billionaires don't talk about lifespan, they talk about health span. The goal is to live without weakness or frailty, to keep the energy of your youth forever. It's a quest for biological perfection. But here's the most critical parallel: the hubris and the danger. Those Tang emperors died drinking their own elixirs, a pretty stark warning about what happens when your ambition gets ahead of your science. The risks today are less immediate, but could be way more profound. Bioethicists warn that this tech could throw gasoline on the fire of existing inequalities. Imagine a world where the super rich can buy themselves more life while everyone else has to face death. It's a recipe for a new kind of caste system. What happens to our society when a small class of people never has to retire? When wealth and power can compound not for one lifetime but for several? This quest doesn't just challenge our bodies, it challenges the very idea of a fair society. The parallels are there, and the stakes couldn't be higher, so what's the verdict? Are these tech billionaires visionaries pushing humanity toward a future without disease? Or are they modern-day emperors so obsessed with their own mortality that they're brewing a potion that could poison society itself? This isn't just about science anymore. It's a debate about what kind of future we want to build. What do you think? Is living forever a noble goal or a dangerous fantasy? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you think these kinds of questions are as fascinating as I do, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss what's next. From ancient dust to digital data, the human obsession with cheating death has never gone away. The names change, the tools get more sophisticated, but the story is the same. The old alchemists wanted to turn lead into gold, a physical symbol of their desire to perfect the imperfect. Today's tech billionaires are trying the ultimate alchemy, turning our finite mortal code into the eternal gold of endless life. They've traded their crucibles for CRISPR, their ancient texts for algorithms, and their elixirs for gene therapies. They've dressed up their quest in the language of science and progress, but it's the same primal, audacious, and maybe even dangerous dream. The hunt for the philosopher's stone is alive and well. It's just funded by venture capital now. But they've opened a Pandora's box the alchemists could never have imagined. And now we have to ask the question they never did. If they finally succeed, will it be an elixir for all of humanity or a poison for society? Will it be the key to our evolution, or will it create a world where some of us are meant to live while the rest are simply left to die?